Hi everyone. We are to RAD Podcast right now. It's just a test in English. I'm here together with my colleagues and friends. We talk about Radu on my right side, and then my left side, Mr. Dragos, which
Hello,
is
everyone.
Hello.
happy to see you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes, and I just wanted us to introduce ourselves because this is the first episode. So why did we manage to be in front of the camera and why we're gonna start a podcast? Personally, I just want to start this podcast because I've seen that people learn so much if you start your own podcast. Like for example, most of the podcasts that I listen to, the guy who does that podcast itself just learns loads of information through like the people who have them as guests. So that's the main objective that I want to get through my podcast,
All right. Myself, it happens that I've been chased to do and to join this podcast. I've got some video camera gigs and this and that, and I was kind of tickled about the subject. And why not? It's something new, it's a challenge. Let's try it. Yeah, let's see what Mr. Dragos has to say.
Yeah, for me it's something new. I want to do it, and we shall see what's gonna happen after this first episode.
I think the best thing for the first episode would be like everybody just to describe themselves a bit, so the viewers can see if you have other platforms and stuff, what's your interests and stuff. For example, me, I like to draw stuff and I'm really into art. I don't know if Dragos might have seen a bit of what I'm doing.
Yes, I've seen it. It's pretty nice.
It's just pretty nice, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert to say anything. I like what I'm saying, I'm seeing, and keep doing this, and you'll be better and better.
Yes, most of the stuff that I'm doing is just, for example, if you see like a movie and you really like that movie, it's a weird feeling if you're like, I'm not an artist obviously, but if you get the feeling of wanting to draw that character, if it left like an impression on you. So for example, the most of the things that I drew and I want to draw in the future would be something that I feel like I had like some sort of connection, maybe, let's say.
Yeah, it's like some people, they will put this in words, some people they will make some photographies or something like this, or just
Just make sure that you're careful what you watch before to draw.
Well,
yes,
I mean,
indeed,
obviously this is something that you see in the movies, depends on the movie.
Right, I think I'm gonna give Dragos a word.
So mostly was just about whatever you're passionate about and
describe yourself.
a bit. So I'm for example the artist.
All right.
Yeah,
what I am enjoying, I'm enjoying to watch science fiction movies or something on this kind, like Star Wars, Star Trek, or.
Have you ever thought of having like an idea for your main channel, let's say? Because I know that I've been pushing you with this, but have you ever come to an actual conclusion what you want to do?
No, I'm still deciding. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do because for me it's like I will start something, but I will not
finish it.
Yeah, I'm not finished. That is like, okay, I will start something today, and in 2-3 days I will find something new, and I will say, okay, stop this, start the new thing, and I will continue. I don't know when. And
well, today we have the chance to change that. So let's not draw other images, about different things until we finish with this one, because we're very sketchy right now with our own thing.
What's the matter of drawing? You can draw other stuff if you want. There's no issue.
Yeah, if it's fun, like for me, when I have free time, let's say, sometimes I'm playing video games or.
I personally think for you, I think sketches or doing like a small.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like comedy.
I like a stand-up, yeah.
Kind of like a stand-up. I think you'll be perfect because you can roll with the punches. Let's say,
Yeah, I thought about this at some point. I'm thinking, to take some images from a game, let's say, and to transform myself into that character, but with a different with a different voice and different style, not with like the real character.
Yeah, that's actually a cool
I mean,
idea.
it's like I don't know if you have seen the movie called Terminator. Like
No,
I'll
nobody
No one
seen that
ever.
movie.
yeah, it's like that. I'll be back. You know?
It's the Romanian voice. Somebody walking on the street. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Dragos, Mr. Radu.
Thank you, Mr. Radu.
Well, I'm a hobbyist in art as well. I do some photography. I did my last studies were around music. I finished them and I didn't continue to a uni level, so I stopped them quite early. But I still do things, at home. But again, it's a hobby level. Some sort of videography. Let's not do any product placement, please. Yeah.
I was just eyeballing like the
Well,
Dragos.
very new. Let me check my
Yeah, I'm so
coffee.
sorry. We're gonna cut this at the.
We're just gonna take
after
out
Right.
all the commercial like this one.
Mr. Radu, yes, please. Just turn around that because no one
Yeah.
cares what is
Yeah,
in
no.
that.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by any brands.
Yeah.
No, we don't have it.
We hope that at some point.
Yeah. So this is our.
Please subscribe.
We are sponsored by us. If you want
Yeah,
to.
by our asses.
Sponsored. So yeah.
By our own asses. Right.
So sorry for interrupting, Mr. Adi. I know that you were having a passionate conversation with your viewers. So please start again.
Yeah, looking somewhere on the floor. Obviously, they felt like I'm talking with my viewers, which are none right now.
But maybe in the future.
You never know in the future what can reserve us. Right, so I don't want to get too much out of my house right now. We have all the time to speak about different things, and you never know, maybe show some results.
So you're just to get the point of it. You're the main passion of yourself would be you would consider.
I'm the main character of my life.
Yes, that's narcissism 101. Obviously, you're the main character in your life. But regarding that, photography would be your main passion, or like music? Because I knew that
they have a fair fight right now, and videography is coming in between.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's a complicated relation, I would say.
So, what do you enjoy more to I don't know, do some music? You have ever done like a real song? Just the sound or the text also? Or?
When I was very, very little, I was first. I started with. I remember I was writing some lyrics for. I had 2 or 3 poetry, whatever, about probably seasons.
Oh, you had poetry.
Yeah, I had.
Yeah,
but
I
not,
also had.
like you said, I start things and then I leave them in the air and they remain, history. And then at some point I had some lyrics for some songs as well. But again, 1 or 2, something like that, nothing special. And then I studied some, mainstream. At school I had to study some.
That's one of the questions I wanted to ask. So you studied music in school?
No. I've started, to be fair with you, with studying the trumpet around my 4th grade until the 9th grade, and then I switched to. In high school, they kind of switched me to a trombone. It's a big, heavy instrument, relatively heavy. But I wasn't very passionate about it. I had to change it, and then my last 2 years in high school were done by studying, the voice as an instrument.
All right.
So
it means you can sing.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, sort of,
those
yeah,
things.
yeah.
I can sing it. Then
I can
pulls up like an opera.
I can do
Sinatra.
that if I really need to. if I'm in an island alone.
Next time we're gonna bring a beer, okay?
Yeah, but
make him sing.
the only thing I can do I just can rap, like
You're the.
it's like a semi. It's not like a real
writes the-
singer,
he writes the lyrics, and he sings the lyrics, and we are just you can imitate whatever he's gonna do.
Right. Yeah. That's a good idea. Maybe we'll do some featuring in the future.
Yes.
Featuring. in the
Yes,
future.
please. I think I'll try
Yeah,
that.
we can. I mean,
Yeah, we can try at some
That's-
point.
we can start the water in the shower and
Yes.
that's it. The music is just
Gone.
flows. The music flows. Now let's not be too dramatic.
It's just
I mean,
you can hear your voice in the water. Nice.
Yeah, it's like I remember the time.
imagine the sound of the violins, being the shower.
No,
Yeah,
so
but
listen,
I'm not.
we are talking about like we want to rap, and he's like
Yeah, I'm not that
playing
deep
the
like a
violin.
Well,
violin.
it's
you
nice.
know,
It's
it's
nice
like
to make
different genre.
Yeah, to
totally
make
different genre.
something new. I mean,
No, I remember when I was young, I used to listen Vanilla Ice. I don't know if you know.
So
If
who
you
are-
remember.
well,
It's
usually
like-
I used to eat Vanilla Ice. but-
Yes, indeed.
I mean,
But,
it's
yeah,
okay. It's
yeah.
okay.
Everyone knows about Vanilla Ice.
Yeah,
He
you
had
can
like
you
one-
can put your
he
ice.
had one good song. That's it.
Yeah, one good song. Then no, but
Ice,
you know,
Ice Baby, and that's it, right?
you know why I used to.
Good song.
Yeah,
Catches.
you know why I used to listen that song after 1990s because this guy Vanilla Ice used to be a character into the movie with what is called the Turtles Ninja, if you
Teenage
remember.
Ninja-
Yeah,
Teenage-
TNT. Yeah.
TNT.
Yes.
Wow.
Teenage Ninja Turtles.
You talk about times where
That's
Yeah,
that's been a
I
while.
was young
I was
then.
not-
I think I was
not aware
12
of
years.
much.
I was 12 years old then. So
Yeah, you were young.
I mean, Teenage Ninja Turtles. It's something that I caught also. So I'm 33, for example. So
yeah, but the first one.
No lady
was-
should say
Yeah.
should say
No,
Yeah,
no,
don't
just
don't
say
give your
the age.
no, not a podcast, no. That's a big no-no. That's surprising though, that you so basically your whole life you had music, and for example me, that with art I just literally discovered it a little bit through later in my life. So most of my life I did more realistic profile. That's how it's called in Romania, realistic.
Yeah, it's
Like
Realistic,
maths,
no,
you do like
maths,
exact
physics,
science.
exact
You were
science.
dealing with
Science.
exact science.
science.
And
That-
I always wonder why it doesn't necessarily stick with me, but it's a good thing that I learned those mathematical concepts because they do help out the way they think.
In music,
But most
music,
not,
mathematical
at
concepts
least.
help a lot. They are very present in music.
I assume that like you have notes, right? You have notes. You have how do you call them? 1/8, 1/16.
Yeah, you've got
Tempo.
way more than that.
Yeah, it's just the rhythm, the
it's an
BPM,
entire
and the-
subject.
yeah,
It's an
the
entire topic.
BPM.
You cannot exploit right now. But
Yeah. So
Believe me.
basically, I'm just saying that maths do help out.
yeah.
It's not something that
Yeah.
most people just
It's just
think if you do maths, it's not gonna help out. It does help out.
it's more f-
especially the way you
it-
think.
if you really want to do this parallel with the music, is helping out more in notation and in reality, as if you are a good musician, you start to get to feel them. You feel the time.
What do you mean?
You initially feel the time. Yeah. Those are just some numbers written in a paper. In reality, you feel the rhythm. You don't have to count. So yeah, they are the basics,
All right.
but the music gets them to another level. You start to feel the time literally.
I assume it's something like you get used to probably the rhythm, and it just gives you like a tempo to the music.
It's a vocation, Radu. It's a vocation. Is
Well, that's,
Yeah, but
I'm just trying to poke the barrier.
Yeah, but
and
that
see-
is not science in music if it's a
It is.
vocation.
It is. What do you
also
mean?
It is,
science.
but
That's
you
what I'm
see,
saying, like, it's
if
kind
you
of
really
like a
want,
No, but the people who are creative are not like science person, are sticking to one rule or many rules.
No.
If
Well,
you want to
that's-
be creative, you don't have any rules. I mean,
no, it's a
this
different
is
kind
what-
of science.
Yeah,
But it's science
it's
definitely.
science also. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
yeah, that's what I was asking about those things because you have bigger knowledge and
Yeah,
that's why I'm poking them.
we can say that too. Yeah. I'm not-
But yeah, so it's an interesting fact for me from my past. It's just the fact that I've been doing like realistic, like as you said, exact sciences,
Yeah.
and then later on, when I picked up the pen and I wanted to draw something, I saw that I could actually kind of whatever I saw in front of me. Let's say I had this
you got to
cup.
be softer. I don't want to sound bad, but
What do you mean so?
you
That one needed like a little bit of subtitling because I
No, but it's, in your life you will not remain the same.
Yeah,
Everything is
obviously, yeah.
Yeah,
everything is
obviously, yeah,
changing.
developing
Over
is
this.
in a constant change is like so,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even if you start like that and you think this is my thing, you focus on that, but
would have been nice to like come from a background that, for example, like gone to not necessarily architecture, or like a artistic point that I would draw more.
That I was trying to say right now. I think it was you were influenced by your family or something,
yes,
that you choose to go that way. It's not necessarily that you didn't feel like, and yeah, like if you have
you
a
discover
different.
just the timing is different. So, but it's nice that you started from a point that you knew what you want. It's not many people just know what they want from the get-go. So
yeah, but I started to, when I was very, very young, I wanted to be an astronaut.
Obviously you should have studied like 20 years.
Then after
curricular courses, and then maybe
after, when I started the high school, I wanted to be a journalist.
Journalist.
Yes, cool. Journalist, because I used to like to watch people talking on TV, like
podcast.
Something like a podcast.
The concept long time ago, probably this concept was a podcast, was not available in it. Did they had podcasts like?
No, podcast started on the radio, not on TV.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I remember the first time that I heard similar to a podcast was like when I was like 7. There was the national Romanian there was a talk show in the national Romanian, like on the radio. It was like one of the ones with the buttons that you have to turn.
Yeah, the old school.
That's a good.
See the frequencies on it.
That's a good thing to highlight, because now we come with another new concept to our possible viewers. That we are basically all free from Romania. We currently live in UK.
So we are based in UK now. We are not in Romania.
Exactly. We start to give glimpses, but they don't make sense probably, or they are like, okay, where from? Especially with my English, they sure that they were thinking I'm a British or something.
Yeah, obviously our accent. We are here heavily influenced by the Eastern European bloc. So
I'm sure.
Everybody knows that we're like almost Eastern country.
Yeah, because we have our
strong accent.
Yeah.
So we go back to Dragos being an astronaut.
Yes,
right.
Yes, that was my. I don't know why.
So what happened, Dragos? Why did you become an astronaut?
I realized that is not what I really wanted. It was just a dream of a very young kid.
Or being realistically, he just realized that his grades are not so great.
When he was looking over his grade, he was like,
all right. Maybe I can be the next Andrei Esca, but not an astronaut, not Louis Armstrong.
No, but when I heard there was and there is only one Romanian astronaut. Yes, the only one.
Who? I genuinely.
You don't know?
No.
It's called Prunariu.
Oh yeah, Dumitru Prunariu.
Yeah, Dumitru Prunariu is the only one to went to space from Romania.
Is he like a timeline wise? Is it like a 1990 something? Or
no, it's before 1990. It's 1986, I think, and or something like that, 1980s, in the 80s, and he was part of a team from Russia,
right?
Because Romania used to be in the same
the same block, a different European Union.
Yes, a different
Eastern one.
Eastern, that's a different one.
Yeah, that's good. That's
nice. I didn't know that we had proper astronaut.
Yeah. There is the only one.
We
have people working on the ESA, I mean European Space Agency from Romania.
We have technically people on the...
Yeah, and now Romania being part of the European Union, we also are part of the ESA. Oh. And I think they started to build small satellites, and they can be launched by I don't know, European Space Agency. They have like what is called a base located somewhere in Africa, I think, or I don't know where. I don't know exactly where.
That's the point of this podcast.
I know it's into somewhere in French, Guyana or something. I'm not sure if it's in Africa or in there must be in a place very close to the what is called equator of the earth, of the earth, because it's easier to launch a rocket from there because it's closer to
Apparently this guy really studied the subject.
Exactly.
So.
We were actually poking the bear, but in reality he actually knows his stuff.
All right.
I know. Knows his stuff. He's like a general idea, whatever.
Yeah, general idea, because I have not done like a.
And then in the future we will see the comments to this podcast like, oh my god, this guy is bluffing so much. What the fuck is he talking about?
Back in 1986 in Romania, there was no astronaut.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know about Dumitru Polariu, but
if you can search online to find when.
Yes, this is not in the future when we're gonna have more money. We can actually type one of the computers and maybe show it up.
Yes.
It's not about the money; it's about the viewers.
Yeah, the viewers.
Yeah, well. That's nice.
Because there are certain efforts that are not deserved to be paid now, because we're just at the beginning.
Yeah, because we have not started this for money. We started this because we want to find new.
If we get some money as well, we're not going to be unhappy.
Yeah,
I mean, this is the businessman from us, all of us.
Yeah. No one can cry about it.
Yeah, do subscribe.
Please, yes.
Please.
Thank you so much.
Place a like.
Yeah.
Whatever you have to do, I don't know.
Punch that like button and
poke.
Poke.
I think it was a Facebook thing, but anyway, do that too.
So, I'm just gonna ask about you because that subject was so interesting. Yeah.
About me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Please,
so,
please.
What made you? You said that you wanted to go into journalism.
Yes.
Because you like listening to other people.
Yeah. I don't know how to say this. I was keen to listen how people are talking because I wanted to improve my style, my vocabulary. Yeah.
Well,
and what I realized people talking on TV or on the radio, they have a good diction. I don't know if it's real.
Diction,
yeah. So it was not easy for me to go, let's say, to a show or to a.
Oh, that's kind of ties in that you wanted to. At one point, you told me that you want to be a salesman. Oh, you've been a salesman.
Yeah, I've been. I've been working in. Yeah, but that was
ties into whatever you're saying about talking with other people, because salesmen do actually they go in front of the customer and they say, hello, how are you?
Yes,
how was your day? You want to buy this product?
Yeah.
A salesman, a professional liar.
Yes, it's not you don't lie. You just say what the people want to hear about that.
I just say nothing because the salesman in him is gonna be triggered now.
No, but it's like in.
I have been a salesman too.
Yeah,
so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But
do explain that, because I'm not a salesman.
No, but I mean it's like a if you are a doctor, like a what is called surgeon, yeah, and you cannot promise to somebody, okay, I will save your wife's lives. I'm gonna do. You are just saying I'm gonna do all my.
You just all is in your power to.
Yeah. Because if you promise something and you cannot keep that, you cannot keep that promise, then that will affect the rest. And the salesmen are doing the same thing. They will not promise, okay, if you buy this thing, this will be the best. It will be exactly what you need.
Every salesman that you come across that doesn't seem that they actually knew they're gonna deliver the product usually, especially if you go like to Flanco, like back in Romania.
Yeah, depends.
They were like, buy this washing machine. It's gonna be the 100% the best washing machine in your life. You buy one and it breaks up after a couple of days.
No, but
that's the quality. I was just saying the quality wise of the person who's trying to sell you something. It's amazing because you need to make the person in front of you actually believe in whatever you're saying.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I assume there are techniques.
It's basically starts with the point that none of the buyers know what they want. They imagine, okay, I came in here for a washing machine, whatever. But I don't know exactly what I need and what I want. And as a result, I'm not sure that I really want to buy a specific one, or if I really want to buy at all one. Maybe it's fine, the one from home. So then if you have, as a salesman, if you have very good skills and you really know how to first put questions, listen to the customer and identify its needs, then you might be able to pursue him to buy certain
Not
things.
pursue him, driving around.
No, listen, you try to go around. No, it is a bit of lying, it's a bit of pursuing, it's a bit of everything.
Yeah, but I try to never lie about what I, you know.
Is that a lie?
Yeah, this is also a lie, of course.
Let's call it differently.
So
Once
whenever
you-
you go in the shop, you'll be like, I don't know exactly what I want to buy, but I'm just gonna buy something. So.
No one has this in mind, but you have to understand that you don't know what you want. Believe me, this is a very, very well-known concept in sales.
Yeah, but we are talking about me
You.
20 years ago.
Oh,
Now
man,
you
I couldn't
can.
imagine you 20 years ago.
No, but I mean, now you can find reviews online. You can watch YouTube to find what is best for you.
That
So,
kind of
yeah.
I wanted to tie into Google and stuff like that. Now you can actually search for whatever product you want on Amazon, let's say, or whatever other platform you use, and then go in the shop and be like, maybe I want something kind of like this. You're
Yeah,
right.
but also.
So I probably killed your salesman. It's really hard to be a salesman these days, probably.
Maybe
Because if you
not.
know
Maybe
the
not because
products
you have.
beforehand,
You have
I agree with
access
you.
to- yeah.
No, I agree with him
So
because you know what? When
that's-
you've got so many
that's-
options
that's I wanted
and
to
you've
tie
got
it
so much marketing, which I will call more lying. Obviously, you are like, even if you are a geek into domain, you are like, I don't know where should I go? Because you've got so many options. So I think it's harder, and also people tend to think that they know. Now they come with a different attitude. They know what they want and they know the subject, and they slap you when you tell them and try to steer them to a certain way. So it's much harder right now because I was a salesman slightly later than you.
Okay.
When these things
Back in
that Radu
1990.
is talking about they were available. So yes, the people are coming and they tell you. So what they ask you what I should take, what you advise me, but then they're like slapping you. No, this is wrong because I see this.
Yes,
in YouTube.
exactly. All the time, like you looked on Google and
harder
be like,
now,
oh man,
actually.
this is this washing machine was made by whatever manufacturer.
Yeah.
It's like
Manually
Google,
nailed.
Imagine
Yeah,
how hard
it
these days
used to
will
be the same thing back in the days because some people they just search about one product when you are selling 10 or 20 type of from the of that.
You have like a catalog.
Yeah, and you
look over
have
the
20 let's say 20 smartphones, and people will search about one specific to ask you about, I don't know, a small dial or a small
or
button there. You say, okay, I don't know every
Hey, listen,
button
you
or
should-
every app,
Oh my God,
every apps
that's-
from this.
that's-
So you will say, okay, all of these smartphones can do photos, they can do that, but I don't know exactly specific. If you want, we can search about that together. But if you are coming and you are telling me that, I'm sorry.
Why this knob is red and the other one is blue? But they're pretty similar. Why is the difference? And you're like, all right,
Maybe you like red, maybe you don't like.
this
Come
is
on,
roasted, this
Yeah.
is hot. I don't know, something like that.
I mean, if you're a good salesman, you should know the whole catalog.
Nah, impossible
Yeah,
to know
but
everything.
Imagine like somebody trying to learn pay 30 pages of washing machines and the brand and whatever each one
No,
has.
but all the washing machine are doing the same. They are washing.
Yeah, basically they're the
Yeah,
same
but they
shit.
have different knobs, Dragos. They have
Yeah,
like
but
10
I
knobs.
know. Yeah, but if you ask me about, let's say,
It's
what is the size of the pipe or whatever, I don't know that.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
too much.
you know.
Just think,
Yeah, but people. Oh, be careful with that.
What's happening?
He-
what the-
You punched
on the-
something?
Yeah, it's on
Oh,
the
you're
floor.
Red Bull.
Yeah. Don't say
Oh
that.
shit!
hey,
They have to pay us now.
Yeah, now you have to pay us.
No, clearly we're not sponsored.
Zero
so,
customers, but they have to pay us.
Yeah,
Please,
indeed.
please sponsor us because we wouldn't mind. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it used to be very nice to be a sales, but I was not a salesman because our what is called CEO used to tell us you are not a salesman.
Okay,
you
but-
are a consultant. You are
All right.
consulting people. You are
Customer
talking.
advisor.
You are not.
Customer advice.
You know, you are not.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are not at the market and you are selling potatoes and
Yeah.
and onions and
Yeah,
come on.
I've been a customer
it's a
advisor.
difference because when people are coming, okay, give me two potatoes, whatever. It's not.
So they
You are
can-
gonna take two and give it.
Yeah, it's not-
You have to make them buy. It's like they walk by and be like, "Do you want to buy this potato?" You know,
Yeah,
rather
so-
than
you give the
Do you reckon that don't go too far from the mic? Do you reckon that there are any more like sales? I genuinely don't think that there are any more like sales positions. Maybe with cars and stuff these days, but I don't see too many sales people in shops these days.
Well, because everything is now online, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
everything
exactly.
moved
That's-
from the
That's what I'm
The
saying.
shops
Most
to
likely
the
the
online, yeah.
sales are just like, you know, you have your phone and they might listen to you and just add with whatever we're talking about. It's gonna pop
Cookies.
out and then,
They
you know,
give you cookies through the websites.
that's the new salesman of these days.
Yeah.
now most of the stuff is done online, and there are people called influencers. They will
This is what Dragos
Yeah,
wants to
yeah,
be.
yeah.
All right, so that's like we gave you an idea of whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Just become an influencer and get products and test them.
yeah
Or what do influencers do? Influencers something.
yeah you
What
are
do they influence?
influencing people to go and
I
buy
assume
that.
They have to. Somebody has to offer you something, like one company.
Yeah, you need to have like a contract
You know,
with a
buy
company
this-
to
pair of headsets, and then I'm gonna give you like 10% of whatever you're gonna get.
yeah something.
10%. Wait. I'm just.
Yeah, but first,
Do you
but
think
first
you are the
need
shareholder of the
This
company?
is
or
the-
what?
this is like a fictive.
but
conversation.
first you need to build your channel to have
We are building it now
viewers and yeah.
because our viewers can go on each and every one's private channel.
Yeah, but I promise I will give my honest opinion.
So that's a
About-
good idea. Honest opinion can
Honest
be
opinion,
a
yeah.
perfect idea for a channel name.
Yeah, honest opinion, yeah.
Unprofessional but honest.
Yes.
It's exactly what the customer wants, you know. I don't know what is this about or all these knobs are doing, but I'm telling you that I used it, so it does the job. That's it.
Yes.
See, he's born as an influencer.
Oh my
He knows
God.
how to
No,
do
but,
it.
If that product is not unique and there are other products, you can compare the 2 or 3 products and say what is the difference between them, and then the person who is wanted to buy something, he will decide or she will decide if that is
Yes. To be fair,
he or she needs. And
you make.
I mean, I think this is the best way to give to somebody an answer. Do not say, okay, if you want, let's say, an electric car, buy Tesla because it's the only one, you know.
Come on,
There are-
now Elon must have to pay us.
Okay,
Please,
I'll give
don't-
a.
No, it's not
Don't
that
give
much.
names.
You're not gonna
Yeah,
use
no
any
names, but,
You can.
No,
But-
let's not use it. Let's not make any advertising.
Okay, no, I gave just an example. Okay,
Sure,
let's
sir.
say which is or
A car.
yeah,
In general, okay, an
a
electric car, you
yeah.
said,
An
yeah?
electric car, yeah.
He's really specific. So
Yeah,
he uses
yeah, but no, I've said that because people will come and say, okay, I heard about that company are making the best car in the world, and what you're gonna say, okay, if that is your opinion and you wanna buy that, go for it. I'm not gonna say anything because I cannot change your mind. I mean,
I almost lost my train of thought. I would much rather see, like, for example, if I watch a review about a certain product, I would much rather see somebody on YouTube that isn't that knowledgeable about that product,
Obviously.
because my opinion I would like kind of share the same connection, whatever, between me and him or her. Because, for example, I wouldn't know which is how good is the Audio Technica, let's say, headset. And
you are talking about
it's like another product.
a
It's just a product.
headset, yeah.
Headset, let's say another headset, and they'd be like, of course I'm gonna trust somebody who's my level and see, like, alright, sounds alright, rather than going to a professional who's gonna tell me the difference between
Yeah, but that
100, 120, 150, you know, the brackets and crap.
Yeah, but that means you know what
Makes
you
sense.
yeah, but that means you know what you want, but you need another opinion similar with your opinion
So
to
what-
say,
you're
okay, I'm
just
gonna
saying-
go for this one.
You're just
No,
trying to
but basically we buy based on the experiences. So in one hand, on the other hand, YouTube is full of geeks which are telling you so many, numbers and the dimensions of the product and this and that, and no one gives a shit because you can't make out of those things much. You're not an engineer working in that field to understand through those stats that he's talking about, the geek, the presenter, whatever in YouTube, to make out that if you want the product or not. You know, I mean,
yes,
that's
it's true.
yeah.
I can give you an example. For example,
So you mean going back, just saying that means that I already knew that what I'm gonna buy. I'm just confirming.
yeah, you need a confirmation.
That makes sense.
about-
That's psychology.
Yeah.
Also, another subject that I'm interested about myself is just psychology. I find that really interesting subject, especially
And dangerous.
Dangerous. Yeah.
especially like most of the people don't necessarily think about whatever background they have and where they comes up through, but I think psychology plays a big role.
Well, the advertiser definitely think about it and use the psychology against us in order to sell products. So it's good for them because we don't think about it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's exactly what the customer would say.
Yeah,
I don't think about it, but I'm just gonna buy 10 pairs of something.
No, but
just because I saw a nice ad.
yeah, but the problem is when you are buying something what you don't really need. When you are
That's 2020.
watching something and
That's
say, okay,
2023 sickness,
Yes,
in the
sickness,
world
yeah.
is like, you know, you don't have, I don't know what kind of health problem, but you've got this mental problem, which is like, it's so easy to buy that you just buy without needing them. You just blam 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 blam.
To be fair, all of us just at one
Not
point,
myself.
you can't say that you don't have nothing in your house, that everything is useful.
Oh,
At one point you bought something, at one point you had one period of your life that you bought more than you need, or something
Yeah,
that
I'm
you
sure,
don't
I'm
really
sure.
need.
we've got periods of time in which that if you go,
Like spend their
I'll
time.
make a parallel. If you go hungry in a supermarket, you'll buy so much things, so much crap. It's the same thing with probably the rest of the products. If you go hungry, I don't know, for a certain product, and you go in a specific shop that has many other things around the subject, around the topic, then you'll start buying all over because you think this I need, you know, this is going all together.
That happens frequently, to be fair.
Yeah.
Especially that's why I try to never go like this. Let's say I go to Tesco and I want to buy something specifically. I
Don't
just want to
talk,
buy like.
Don't talk about names, Tesco.
Okay, I'm gonna go in a shop.
Supermarket, whatever.
You go in a
This-
supermarket.
Go to supermarket and try to buy one item, whatever it might be. I'm not gonna name a brand.
That's
But
why you need to
you
go
end
to
up
the.
like buying 3 other stuff. All right, I need that other stuff.
Yeah,
I need that other stuff.
No, but
It has a good
that's-
price. It's,
That's
So
why
you
you
buy-
need to.
makes sense.
You have, or it's better to go to the small shops with less
I
products.
don't think it's gonna help out.
well, a small shop is pricey. Is quite it tends to be expensive, and you have
No, it's not, because you are buying one product you really need. You don't buy 3 products.
well, if you think like that, maybe it's not that pricey. But in general, you've got a small amount of options, and it tends to be more expensive than the big supermarkets. So yeah, I mean, you just eat first.
Yeah, true. That.
Eat first, and then you go
Then I'll be like,
in a
I
supermarket,
don't know if I want to buy anything.
and then your mind, you know, you start to think with your mind, not with your belly. So you say, okay, I truly need this. I
That-
remember my fridge is empty, and I have eggs, for
I
example,
agree.
no brand.
No brand,
Any
yeah.
eggs,
Eggs, yeah.
free range if you want.
That works only for food though. What can you do if you're like an IT specialist? No, let's say you're in music, right?
Yeah.
You go in a music shop.
Well, I'm
everybody
cured.
has its own
I'm
passion.
cured of that problem. I used to do that. That's why when we were speaking about gears, I'm trying to hold you down, guys, because we've got so many other details that we have to fix them up before to start investing in so many gears, because this might be good, this might be nice, this and that. No, let's start cheap
No.
and poor and treat it as a business. Small investment, maximum outcome. That's it.
So for me, speaking from past experiences,
Yes,
whenever you went
yes,
to
because
the
I've
shop,
got guys.
you bought
You,
stuff.
you just bought these gears, but I have them for years and barely use it. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've been through. That's why I just take it easy.
Back,
Life-
back
take
in
it
my
easy.
Experience,
days.
yeah.
I've got some experience
Back in
about this
Romania.
kind of gears. Yeah.
Well, see, I don't think anything is like unuseful, because especially if you buy like old stuff that's out of date, yeah, okay, that's maybe not useful. But some of the stuff, for example, that you're buying, you're saying that you're investing in something. At one point of your life, you might use it. That's
Yeah.
the point that sometimes whenever you go like a IT shop or music shop or whatever, you kind of invest in stuff. You not necessarily like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw it away after
Yeah, but
I-
if that product will be obsolete in
Yeah, it's
3
exactly.
years, then
I do not subscribe to this concept, because if would be like you say, we would not have those scrap whatever old thing shops, you know, where like you go in there and you find all sorts of old products. They are perfectly working, maybe not much used, but the people don't have enough space anymore in their houses, so they just get to sell them. Everything, electronics and everything, you can find everything. So obviously, especially nowadays when the technology goes so quick and is developing and going, you know, changing and this and that.
There is a market though for that. It's called Facebook Market.
Facebook.
No, how many times can I name one brand?
You have
how would you not say market?
just look at me. I'm not.
Online.
I never
Online
say.
market.
Yeah, online shops.
Yeah, like online shops or you know, selling
Okay, so the
websites.
point is that there are online shops now for those type of places.
Yeah, definitely. They
There's a
are.
market for them.
But that doesn't make any sense, any difference, because anyway you lose a lot of money, and you'll end up selling something outdated and, you know, very cheap. I will give an example. I use that camera. I used to make some money out of it. My previous DSLR. Basically, I bought it for.
No,
Yeah,
it's not an idea.
you see,
No, I'm just saying. Don't go.
I know,
which
and
one.
I'm very controlled. If you
Yeah.
observe, I never gave any brand.
Hey, sometimes you can.
You know,
give him a beer. You know,
All right.
Come on, give it the
You
beer.
don't have a beer, because if you would have a beer, you will
No,
go.
I
You
don't.
will go like in the highway 160 with brands. You'll be like naming all the brands in the world right here. So what I'm saying, what I used to say,
Yeah,
I is basically I bought that in 2015, probably 14, no 15, I think 16, something like that, and it was around maybe £1,000 altogether with the lenses and whatever details. And now when I get to sell them, I realize that I get less than
Half.
£300.
Less than half of the.
That's
And the gear,
Right.
it was in a very good condition, perfectly working, not very outdated. I mean, you could have done very good photography with them, with those gears, but I end up giving them to, you know, for free to my sister, for example. I mean,
Yeah, because
was
people-
no sense.
People are trying, or they want to buy new stuff, not old stuff. Even if the old stuff is better, has a good quality, they
Yeah,
will say, okay,
yeah.
I want this new, not used. Or
By the way, he said that he's not gonna subscribe to the idea, but you guys can subscribe to the channel.
yes, please.
Extraordinary.
Hey,
Don't forget to subscribe,
Unbelievable.
okay?
They just catch them.
No, I
No,
caught them.
I'm not. I don't want to
Subscribe.
sell a very bad concept right now, or that I'm bored or anything. But I'm quite
Well, it's only-
wondering about the time. How much have we speak about nonsense subjects?
42 minutes, but it's
42
this is the
minutes.
first
yeah, it's the first
one.
one.
It's the first episode.
It's
so it
a
should be-
pilot episode or whatever it's
It's
called.
episode
What,
episode number one.
Yeah,
In general, what is the time?
1 hour.
limit?
It's 1 hour.
There's
1
no
hour
time,
and a
you
half.
can
is-
record as much as you want.
No, but I mean,
Obviously,
people
but
are
in
not
general,
watching for
Oh,
2-3
like-
hours.
Yes,
one
yes.
podcast,
What is
you know?
the sweet spot for the like
Like most of the people do it around an hour and a half.
Yeah, hour
an hour and a half?
Depends
So, yeah.
of,
For example,
of the
next time we're
subject
gonna have
and
a proper subject and talk about something, but now it's just the introduction.
Subjects and probably guests will make the difference now.
yeah, the guests maybe.
But I
Yeah.
don't think you need to worry about this stuff. Just come in time. So at the moment,
Yeah.
we just more like having a friendly conversation. And most of the podcasts that I listen to, after you have like a certain subject that you talk about, which you learn a lot because I want to learn a lot. But it's just a friendly banter. between
Eventually they get
the
diluted,
guests.
very diluted.
It's very diluted because you don't talk
Yeah.
about one in particular, which is
Yeah.
that's what I like. at the end of
Yeah,
the day.
obviously. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
only
very,
if you
very
have-
humanly.
Talking about podcasts themselves, most of the time, if you have a podcast and you listen to it, you don't pay attention to 100% of the podcast.
No, of course not.
Especially if you listen like 1 hour and a half. So that's when I think it's natural and
Yeah, you'll have your own interest on that, you know. You cannot be.
I lost my
Yeah.
train of thought. Let's go.
Well, too many trains that you lost.
Yes, I lost
Radu.
too many trains in my life.
So,
That's,
Listen, Dragos,
But now
if
we
you
don't-
want
I
to
ended
take
up-
the lead, no, let's see. Maybe you've got some interesting ideas of subject that you want to discuss right now.
Subject to talk
Yeah,
about.
I mean, we are the only ones speaking here, and just
Don't come, no pull his leg.
Yeah.
let's push Dragos. Let's push
Dragos.
Dragos.
a little
Don't
bit.
push me. Let's
All right.
talk.
I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, but
Let's
he's
talk
thinking
about. I don't
about-
know what.
He's thinking about the character that he's gonna create in his
Yeah, it will be like a stand-up.
YouTube
You'll be a
YouTuber,
stand-upper.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna
Okay.
do some.
But then
sketches.
tell us some
Can
jokes.
we be part of the? Can we be part of the your podcast? No, your YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah,
My
let's-
YouTube channel. Yeah,
Let's
can be my channel about this.
Like you make
How
a
you
sketches
can- yeah,
and
how
be
you
like
can
a
do it.
character.
I don't know, maybe a character.
I can be an actor for your thing.
Yeah, no one will know. I'll wear a mask.
I will wear the mask because I'm the actor.
Yeah.
All right,
For
Mr.
no
Dragos.
one, for nobody know
Yes.
who I am. You know, like which was I don't remember.
We're getting lost, Mr. Dragos.
Yeah,
come
I'm
on,
lost.
come on.
No, I'm thinking about a name, and I don't want
Think
to
and
give the
speak.
name.
Think
Yeah,
and speak.
thinking, speaking the
It's
same
good.
time.
It's good.
You know?
You are a smart person because you think twice,
Yeah, think.
or 3 times, or 4 times, or 5, and you never talk unless you have
Yeah,
something
that's
good,
right,
which
yeah.
is good. It's
Yeah,
good, but
it's good.
Let's think about then whatever is so. Whatever I've seen before, as in podcast wise, was from some people that they don't want to name because you don't want to name brands. You're not going to name people.
Yeah.
well,
Nice people,
well,
yeah.
people you can. I think is a different.
Let's say like Joe Rogan. Let's say.
All right.
You can talk about Joe Rogan.
I don't know who Jordan.
How many? Have you
Joe
guys
Rogan?
actually?
No, I don't know.
He's a
Have you actually
podcaster, very,
Have you actually
very
seen his stuff
well known.
and whatever he posts online?
No, I don't.
He
Know.
just said that he doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard the name, but I had never watched.
Well,
What?
that's the fascinating thing. For example, for us, that he doesn't, not him, but in general, the interviewer doesn't have a specific idea whatever the subject is gonna be. He just reads a little bit about it and documents, but you haven't studied the subject. But then you have in front of you somebody who's actually been studying that subject for 20 years.
Yeah, but if you don't put the question, how that
No,
person
listen,
will talk
I think
about?
that's-
Okay,
that's-
talk
When you're-
freely. And
When you're
talk
Joe
about-
Rogan, you can afford anything, you know. But we don't have that of a big name. Let's not forget
So
that
that-
Joe Rogan did something before, and he was like a flashy name, even
no.
before to start there.
Okay, so-
I'm not necessarily about publicity around it. I'm just saying from strictly from podcast point of view, I think it's a good way of getting information.
You want to approach that way.
Yes,
You want to
that's
have
a
a scientist.
approach. Yeah, no,
in-
listen.
in
we
front
can,
of
we can
you.
have. I'm gonna name people from where we work now. Patrick.
They are not
He's gonna
exactly
be a
scientists,
scientist.
especially Patrick.
They are specialists.
Patrick is everything, but not a scientist.
Listen, if you have Patrick in front of us, would be a good podcast and as good, like hour and a half of something to talk about. Let's
Okay,
say
then
Josh. For example, and no, I'm naming people, but just saying
Yeah.
we have Josh in front of us because he might come on podcast and he's gonna talk about rugby, which is really passionate about. You can see clearly on him. Or for example, he has a passion as you, as photography.
Yeah, he's a good photographer.
So from a podcast point of view, I think that's the best way of. I'm more of a dynamic learner rather than actually reading the book and just seeing like slides in front of you and stuff like that. I would much rather have somebody in front of me talk about the particular subject and learn.
Yeah, then you
Uni
can-
style, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then you can name
Yeah, but
three.
you consider yourself more intelligent in whatever subject you're gonna talk with other people, right? You get more knowledge.
Yeah, it's better than the books, probably.
That's I think that the person who actually has a podcast like this, and we have like loads of guests in front of us, they would we would increase our level of knowledge by a lot.
Yeah, but that is
If
true.
if we know the right people and have the right people to invite to the podcast,
Yeah, but if you don't name,
name Patrick.
no, yeah, Patrick, no, but I mean, name three things you wanna learn about that about.
Yeah, we must.
Because
I guess that
okay,
we,
my interest is in I don't know in.
So, for example, would be a good segue to go into, if possible, to have a shared common interest between each other. I assume there is something that we can talk about, like say arts. Most of us, you obviously are going to be into arts also,
right
and having in front of us somebody who studied art would be
to another level, yeah.
yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, but the art in general, like painting or what kind of art?
That's
Like
it.
music, like.
It's
I
hard. It's
assume
hard to
art
study
is a-
art in general.
Yeah,
Art
but
in
that's
general.
I'm saying art. Art
Yeah, but
means is-
you will see how an artist thinks about. Let's say, for example, I have some friends who've been studying in Holland, and they've been doing graphic design.
yeah.
And
Maybe
whenever I
that's-
talk with that person, like literally, I spend like 1 hour, more than 1 hour on Discord, just talking about random stuff that he drew. And so he designs. You know, in a game, you have environmental stuff that's not actually accessible, but you obviously can see it.
Yeah, it's all
So it's
over the
pinpointed
place.
like
Yeah.
at different points, and it's static from your perspective because the game renders it. So I just talk about whatever he done or she done before, and it's
Yeah, this is digital art
digital art,
Yeah.
yes,
and design and.
art and design. Well,
That's just a virtual reality. They just I don't see any art in it. I just see it's just an opinion by
It's
the
a
way.
copy of reality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They
You
and,
can create anything.
and a
you
lot
are
of
just
a
copying
lot of science did the same thing. They were just trying to mimic the
The
nature,
reality.
the reality. You know,
Well, I
to
mean-
explain it through numbers or whatever. It is.
yes,
It
indeed.
is.
I disagree with one thing. There are some things in real life you cannot transpose. No, there are some things in your as an idea that you cannot transpose in real life.
Yeah, but eventually
So that's,
they
for example, games and some shows, cartoons usually. They transpose those ideas better than, my opinion, better than real life, because those subjects can be, touched more easily. It will look so weird if you have like an idea about, I don't know, aliens, that if you put it in reality, somebody would be like an abduction case, rather than if you watch like a cartoon about it, would be something, I don't know where you want to go with the idea, but.
yeah,
Let's say, I don't know if you guys haven't watched the anime and stuff, right? Like Cowboy,
not myself.
Cowboy
No,
Bebop,
no.
for example. There's a quite famous anime, Cowboy Bebop, about a space cop. Let's say, if you transposed it now, it would be like something like Guardians of the Galaxy, which in reality, for the show itself, it wasn't that. It was like something more different.
yeah, those are
So that's what I'm
probably
saying. Like not necessarily all of them try to imitate like real life. It's really hard to transpose those ideas.
there.
Makes any sense?
There are also a
Yeah,
lot
somehow.
of abstract concepts that are
Abstract,
being
yes.
described through this virtual reality
Yes.
arts, whatever. But I don't know. For me, it's more important that those things have something in common with reality, even though we might not know it for now, for the present time, because there are so many things which were discovered theoretically as concepts in mathematics and eventually found in reality.
You mean like theories, and then
Yeah,
prove,
they
prove
proved
them
in
right.
no, not just prove, but even like those theories were manifesting physically in real life, and they eventually identified them.
Oh,
you know,
as in it's were part of the fundamentals of life, and you just see them.
in you know what's happening around us in general. You
I do
know?
have a question. What is dark matter?
Dark
Yeah.
matter
Alright,
is very
Let's
dark.
go to
Yeah.
Dragos.
The dark matter
It's
is
very
very dark. I don't know exactly. At some point, I tried to answer to this question.
What do you think?
I took
Purely fictional.
no.
nothing
I
to-
took in
physics.
account what maybe smarter people than me they talk about at the beginning of this universe,
Okay.
when the Big Bang was.
The-
After a few seconds, there was in the same time matter and antimatter.
Yes.
And the dark matter must be something in between. Because at some point, this is what I think. I don't have a proof, or I don't know. It's my opinion.
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
say.
obviously.
And they are talking now about black holes and white holes. The black holes are a real,
Well,
as much as there can be a real thing. The white holes is the opposite of the black holes. So the white holes
yeah.
cannot be seen in our universe. They are assuming the white holes is like a big bang for another universe. And the dark
That's-
matter, yeah.
That, by the way, sorry to interrupt. The white hole theory, I think it got disproven recently, because from what I remember from my physics 101, there's such thing. They couldn't account wherever the matter was just going into the black hole, but now they have the Hawking radiation, I think it's called.
Yeah,
And they
Hawking
just
radiation.
proved it. So technically, some of the information is still there. It's not like gone funneled in other places.
Yeah, but the Hawking radiation it's about that black hole in time will evaporate, so will dissipate and will disappear.
And it's the ring that.
So if you are saying that means the white hole is not a real thing.
Yeah.
Because if the black hole will disappear, the white hole will also disappear at the same time.
Well,
But
that's
that's what I thought. The dark matter must be something in between these two things, matter and antimatter. If this is real, because they are saying in the world now there are only a few grams of antimatter, because you cannot create antimatter. You need a lot of power.
It actually works, and obviously probably there is antimatter, because what they
they are making antimatter in the what is called accelerators. I don't know. Yeah, it's yes.
That's between Belgium and France? Or something?
No, I think it's in Switzerland.
Or
it's Geneva and Geneva.
Yeah,
whatever it's called.
somewhere around there. It's in the ground, so.
Yeah, under the ground. Yeah.
But that's we're just talking about going back. We're just talking about abstract concepts and about art in general. So I was just saying that from abstract, we're just going off the black holes.
Yeah.
Abstract. If you, in my opinion, it's way more easy as an artist to expose yourself through. I told you, cartoons, stuff that's not necessarily you can repeat in real life. You cannot have. It would look way different if it's like real life. It would give you a different vibe. If it makes any sense.
Yeah, but people have referencing from real life.
Yes,
I mean, if you are, let's say, if you are trying to make a cartoon without people, without animals, without trees, without create something.
in theory, you can.
Yeah, but
Because it's your imagination.
yeah,
right?
but
That
who
goes
is
beyond.
gonna watch that? Because that's what I'm
Or
trying.
you're trying to say that to whoever you can create anything, but nobody's gonna watch it. So.
No, but then
It's
try and use triangles, squares, and circles and make a cartoon and see what.
If you're smart enough.
Yeah, but I mean without eyes, nose, and something from the real life. So
Yeah,
for people to watch your
you
art,
need to relate on some level. You
Yeah.
have to relate. Obviously, you have the same anatomical. That's what I wanted to tie into this. You need to have a certain anatomical correctitude, like proportions and stuff. And by the way, with my background, you know how much it helped out to actually when I was doing technical drawings also. And you could I can visually see the proportions of the body more easily. When I started drawing and I do it myself, I could have just by looking kind of see what's the proportion of the body, which helped out a lot. Once I've seen on YouTube that there are some guides about how to draw stuff. Most of the things are drawn like guidelines and stuff for the body. So mostly of the drawing itself is just mathematical. It helped out so much, you know. Whenever the more, as you said, realistic.
Through the old theories, if you really want to go for drawing the real things or
hands
based
also,
on the
you know how
drawings.
hard hands are to draw.
That's what I'm saying. Go to old ways of doing it. Go to the old pieces of art, paintings, whatever, and their tutorials which are explaining the way they used to think. The size of objects around based on the main character and based on the perspective and everything. So like you say, is more than just imagination. Is a bit of a science.
Yes, indeed. That's what I'm tying it up. It's good. It's very good for me that I did mathematical. I'm just saying mathematical, physical background, because it helped out more than I was thought about.
Yeah, but when you are creating a poem, let's say, this is art.
It is.
In some sorts, yeah.
Yes.
Is the definition. Because you describe is like, even in mathematics, if you remember at school, you had the I don't know how to explain that, when you had a certain way of
The rhythm.
not the rhythm. I'm talking about, you've got equation, a formula.
Yes.
And then I remember my teachers used to describe the concept, why it's like that, how to think, how to approach it. It's exactly the same with the poem, with the poetry. This is a describal of the real thing.
Description.
Yeah, the description. So yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm talking about mathematics. Usually, it has like a beginning for sure. You cannot do like algebra without going like calculus. You need to have certain steps that you have to take. I assume it's the same thing whenever you write poetry. You need to have certain steps.
There are. I don't know if it's called rhythm, but you have to. What is called? One sentence. Yeah, like a sentence after another.
Yeah, it's called rhythm.
And trying.
It's called rhythm also. It's a
like
rhythm. You've got the rhyme
the
between
rhyme
them.
also, yeah.
You've got so many things. But if you talk about the modern poetry, all these things are very, very strict rules. So nowadays they think about no limits even in poetry, like no sense almost. They just almost like
random
monologue, almost like monologue, but this is modern poetry. But yeah,
modern poetry these days is just in rap. That's the modern poetry.
Yes, no, but it used to be. They used to have so many rules in order to make some sense, in order to be easier for everyone to discern whatever is being like. Even when you speak, you have to have some pauses. You have to breathe. You have to make sense. You can't just breathe in the middle twice in the middle of the sentence, and no one will make any sense. That's why
your brain does it for you though. It's like you cannot just breathe. I forgot to breathe.
No, but believe me, if you tackle the music part, the singing part of this subject, you will see that you don't know how to breathe.
I heard that so many. I don't know. I can't remember where, but I've seen videos about whenever people were trying to sing, and I was like, how that person sings really nicely, and you see like another tutorial about how to sing, and I heard them trying to talk about breathing. I was like, how important can breathing be?
Oh my god!
I was like, then the person she was trying to explain.
It's the fundament.
Whenever she's trying to, at the end of this, not sentence, like words, whatever, she was trying to say that you have to breathe out, whatever. So it's like, how would you think about breathing whenever you have to talk or sing? It's so difficult.
It's like you are driving a car.
No, but even in monologue.
But you have to learn how to
even in monologue.
Yeah, you learn that. You need to learn how to breathe.
Even in monologue or when you're freely speaking.
Yes, sounds crazy. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Even in monologue or free speaking, if you pay attention to your breathing, your pauses, where you stop, where you have a long pause or a short one, if you pay attention, you improve that, you have a massive improvement. You have more sense in whatever you say. You can make the difference just by those simple details. In music is the fundament. I mean, you can't sing, you can't do anything, especially if you have
have a monologue in reality. I know that not necessarily breathing, but I know it's important to have those breaks, the time to take a break.
Yeah.
If you take a break in your dialogue and just recollect whatever thought you have, it's really good to keep up with whatever subject you have, and you make yourself more clear. In the past I had this thing that I had to speak really fast and
continuously eventually.
Exactly, continuously, and have to put all my thoughts on the paper. Now it's a little bit more harder in English because I have to recollect myself. Now it's easier, but in the past it's a bit more difficult. In Romanian, if I used to have a conversation with somebody, I was to be like, go all the words at once. So it's like, as you said, it's like a form of art where you have to, know when to pause, breathe, take it in,
With these new formats, being taped, it's easier to even do that. It's easier because even YouTube has the option to, if you really want to see or to hear a podcast very quick, you can speed it up. Being taped. But when you speak with someone, and if you are talking something very important in front of few people, you've got to make sense out of it. You've got to give people time to process whatever you say. So it's very important to know how to phrase it.
If you have a specific goal in mind that you whenever you hear something that you want to learn something, yes indeed. But again, that's why the podcast is very nice, that you can talk about anything and still listen to it, because doesn't need to have for example, this episode was about us introducing ourselves, and we're talking about aliens and dark matter. So I think it's more this is more fluid way of talking rather than have the subject in the order.
Yeah, of course. But a good example is when I used to be a
pause.
Yes. No, when I used to have different teachers for my math, my languages and so on. Some teacher will talk about the subjects like blah 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 blah, and you'll not understand anything. And some of them who are really really good, it's like they are waiting for you to take the information, and after that they will continue that.
Yeah, because not everyone is thinking with the same speed.
Yeah,
you need some time to process, especially when you talk about new subjects that you are
you never heard.
Yeah, you just.
Well, that's something that I want to get out of this podcast. If it's once a week, it's gonna be once a week.
Yes, it's gonna be.
It's something that for sure it's gonna improve in time. Whenever we have the pauses and stuff that you were saying earlier about, right? Yeah. So, Mr. Dragos, from all this conversation about art and stuff, do you like art?
Yeah, I like art, but I wanted to ask you something about what do you think about painting? That is also math. Every painter needs to know how to combine the colors, to know how to.
So, funny enough, you asked that.
You punched him.
Most of the paintings that you need basically to have a before the canvas, you have like a small sketch. Usually it's done in pen, which you could erase, and it's really finely, so like a guideline. That's it's not necessarily a mathematical approach to it again, but you having a guideline behind it's going to help out with whatever visual thing you have in your head.
No, but I am giving you an example. If you are going on a park,
and
you want, you are going into one of the parks in London, and you want to paint a landscape.
Visual thing in front of you.
And landscape. Then you will not have that sketch. You will paint after.
But anyway, you start to sketch first, isn't it?
Okay, so this is the first. This is the first step.
There are two things to it. So the sketch thing, usually you do it whenever you have something in your mind that you can. Again, something that is abstract. It's in your mind. You want to put it on paper. The one that is live in front of you. It's really good to have some guidelines, but you have obviously that thing in front of you. So it's not. It's just more trying to. It's like mechanical part of it. You're executing something. So I consider the art. Your question was about being artistic or not.
No, if painting is an art, and you need math in that. If you need math, or you don't need the math to.
For this, if it's an abstract thing that you try to put it from your mind, I can express how difficult it is, because if you have an idea about something, usually it fades really fast. So whenever you do the sketch itself, myself at least, I'm middle of the sketch and then forget whatever I was trying to sketch. So yes, it is a mathematical and is an art at the same time, but as long as it comes from your imagination, abstract, whatever you want to call it, rather than if you have in front of you this cup and I want to draw it, it's so much easier, because I could just literally. That's the mechanical part that you have to practice it as an artist. So for example, if I want to nail the proportions of that, I'm going to draw it 100 times, and again until I nail the colors and I nail the proportions.
So this is not art. This is hard work.
Yeah, obviously 90% of it is hard
he's
work,
a hobbyist.
10% is.
He's a hobbyist, so he's
trying to interpose whatever you have. If you have any ideas about something abstract, you have to put it on paper. I think that's the hardest part. Whenever you have something in your head, and you have to put it on a sketch, and not forget it, that's art. And you need the mathematical part because you have to sketch it properly. It's like
No, but I mean, if you
it's like I'm assuming whenever you trying to go to add this one, if you have like a piece of a song, if you have like a song in your mind and you think about some notes and then you put it on paper and you might forget the whole melody, right?
Notes are not notes.
It counts
In-
like
in
a,
a-
for
in
the
a-
understanding music.
Notes in a
it counts
concept
notes,
in your mind are not necessarily something that you really need. Notes are just the drawing of the sketch. You think about, you are obsessed because
that's
as an
the
artist,
mechanical- that's the
as an
mechanical part.
artist, you shall be slightly obsessed with the subject, because now it doesn't matter if it's your subject, I don't know, a tree,
No, but how it's
or if it's music.
How the guitar sounds in your mind, in your head.
That's what I wanted to say. Like,
Because if you want to combine 2 or 3 instruments, you need to combine them like
I think if you are
drums and.
if you are a certain level, probably
yeah.
you might hear specifically the guitars, but at the beginning you might probably hear first the melody and the harmony, and then you might start to deploy the different lines to different instruments based on your feelings, because that's why it's art, how it sounds better together with what, when to enter, whatever.
Like a piano.
It's an entire process, and at a very high level, there are professionals in here doing it. It's not everyone doing the same. It's not like
you don't. So, for example, I just want to reach the same conclusion. You want to try to pull it from the abstract itself, then,
not
or is it like
necessarily.
you build?
If
You have the sketch technically in front of you, and you're trying to build on the sketch.
You can do so, but it's very hard. I find it very hard. If you really want to be successful,
Well, that's the art.
is my conclusion. If you really want music to be successful, nice music, good music.
Yeah.
What
real
and now
music,
to talk
yeah.
what I believe is good music and what is not. Everyone has his own opinion, but it's hard to be from nowhere, to start from nowhere. Usually you've got some muses. This is how it's called, isn't it? You've got some places, some random,
music shops.
No. We're talking about real life here. At least for myself, you've got.
Oh, you
maybe
mean like
listen. You might have
around you. Music.
a relationship that failed.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
it. You start
it's
to
the
draw.
sentiment to.
Yeah,
it's like
you've
the
got to
feelings,
be
yeah.
slightly obsessed with it. You've got to feel the thing. Otherwise, you are not believable.
Yeah,
when you start to show off.
It's like
thing.
one of our famous poets, Mihai Eminescu. He
Yeah.
was obsessed with his fiancée, and
Well.
he wrote one of the most known Romanian poems about her.
Yeah, about
technically,
her.
so I assume it's the same thing. If you have like loads of emotions that you can put
Yeah,
on paper.
people are thinking when they are happy, when they are sad, when they have something good in their life or something bad. You cannot think about work, let's say. I'm going to work.
No, but
Some people can do that.
At least for me, the abstract thing
Some
is
people
not a very viable thing, and then you do a very successful music. Probably the good, very well known. Let's talk about all these.
Yeah,
let's talk about all these. If they remain in our ears and we still hear them and we still think, even in our generation, when the music changed so much and we still think this is something, this will never die, then they had something. I don't think so. Or okay, jump from one side to the other. Or if you are at a certain level, probably nowadays they've got people which are writing the lyrics, people which are trying to put the lyrics in the written and doing the harmony and everything. Other people which are taking care of the visual side of that production, music, whatever. Or you can do it in this way. You've got you know what I mean.
Well, I think I'm really curious when this whole like having a composer and other stuff happened. And let's say like a composer. Let's say you have a band, right?
Yeah.
Whenever the bands came together, they had multiple people working for the same song. Makes more sense than
yeah.
the past. Like I'm talking like past 1600s. Let's say you had one composer. That's it. You had the whole.
Well,
one man
Well,
show.
That's still happening.
He or she used to do
Let's say,
everything.
Beethoven, whatever.
That's still
He
happening
had
even
one person
nowadays.
with some instruments in front of him on his pen and paper, and just wrote the whole.
you've got to understand the backgrounds of those people.
When I'm wondering when at one point did us were like, all right, I write the lyrics, I'm gonna write the harmonies, I'm gonna.
No, you've got to also understand the backgrounds of those people. Those people, you talk about Bach, whatever, Mozart. They lived in different paysages, different style of living the life, different environments. Yes, I think the way they expose their music, their feelings in there, is very much influenced by the way people at their level, probably aristocracy, whatever, lived lives on that time.
Well, for sure, it was way different
You know what I
than
mean?
now because now we don't really have. Well, we have, but it's not the same as.
Plus a very smart mind, plus a very very hard work. Some of them, like Mozart, we know they start from very early ages.
Mozart is like what, genius.
Yeah,
Everybody
no,
says
but
that
there are
he's
so
a
many
genius.
geniuses even right now, but still, all this together are getting into. But even then, you could have write so many notes, so many scores, but it's still a teamwork as well. Even then was because they had to go in through the orchestra. To the
orchestra.
Chorus.
Yeah, but it's
And all
different.
together
I'm just saying, like for example, how would you? I cannot connect in my mind. Freddie Mercury, let's say, we had his own band, Queen, and and Bach, let's say, whatever, Mozart, because even though he had people playing for him, it's different whenever there's a band and they just jam.
But I'm sure he was a part of something big, not just him.
Exactly.
Because if you don't know how the trumpet sounds, if you don't know how the bass is the sound of the bass, how you gonna do that? What they have done?
Yeah, I mean,
it's in his mind. That's the thing.
Everyone is.
Obviously, he heard the
if
instruments.
the instrument is not real, how you gonna invent?
No, everyone is.
Again.
No, everyone is thinking that they were so big geniuses that they were just having all these instruments, having in their minds. But it's not it's not the truth. First of all, you have to understand one thing: a lot of instruments that we have now, modern instruments, they were not even present during their times. You can't say that he knew how this will sound in this instrument, or they didn't exist, or they were having a very different iteration.
So most of the instruments,
they were very different.
Old, like violin.
Yeah, they were different, or
cello.
they were not being present at all.
Yeah.
For example, saxophone was not a thing down there. So you can say, he knew how it sounded.
Mozart
it was also a teamwork because he had to go through the orchestra, and then eventually during the time he find out to.
So basically, he was saying that it's even harder for him because he was limited by his technology. Right?
Yeah, but we don't have any records from that time to know how the melody or the sound was back then.
Definitely the sound was different.
Now it's like this because we have all of this.
Different instruments, all these electronic gears. It's different, very different. Now if you see someone will say, someone which doesn't have any idea how it worked and doesn't have any concepts of music history, will say, but I've heard Bach on saxophone, but alright.
Well, that's an interpretation.
You know what I mean?
That's
eventually we get to adapt them to saxophone later, and things like that.
Well, my point was like when did humans just came to a point that let's invent from 1900s onwards, invent this type of music, because it's so interesting that in 100 years it just when we switched from whatever instrument they were back then to, it didn't happen in a long period of time, right? It happened in 100 years, something like that.
Yeah, but in the last 100 years everything moved from acoustic to electronic. There are a lot of electronic stuff like guitars and everything.
Oh yeah, true.
And
guitars.
And what is called piano, but not this piano.
It's an electrical
keyboard,
keyboard, yeah,
whatever,
with
yeah.
all sorts of
So you're
sounds.
just saying that technology is part of the
Yeah, at
art
some
and-
point.
Yeah, the background, you know, different sounds, different social lifestyles. Obviously, will move and change the way the music sounds.
So now I have a question. What's gonna happen with technology in the future?
Yeah, I know what's gonna happen.
Please answer, Dragos.
There will be no technology. Everything will be AI.
That's sort of technology too,
Alright,
isn't it?
that's a technology in itself, okay?
Yeah, by
So, alright, so your view in the future about technology, is it like gonna be incremental, you think? Say, for example, there's a law, right? I can't remember what law that improvements that we do with IT, like they double every year.
yeah, that was the.
Don't know, it's gonna go like, how is it like?
Yeah, it
scale
was
to
for
infinite?
CPUs. It was the
Yeah.
shrink of the
Processor.
node, and it
Yeah.
was more
More slow.
more slow.
Yeah.
And that was this will double every 2 years.
You reckon the same
So-
thing with technology is gonna just double? Like, where is it gonna
we
cap?
are at this point when the atom will be the limitation of that technology, because the atom is the smallest part
Well,
of the
Well, it's not the
And-
smallest part.
you cannot go further than that, so that will be the physical limitation for shrinking the technology.
If you
and
talk
the-
about
Oh,
processors,
you mean
Yeah,
like
processors and-
nanotechnology? and
yeah,
stuff,
because
right?
we are assimilating the technology with computers, and
Okay, so
because if you are talking about cars or something
what
like
do you
that,
think is gonna happen? Let's say, let's give it a realistic term. Let's say in 30 years from now, because we're gonna still be alive, hopefully. What's gonna happen with AI? Do you think the AI is gonna?
AI is a different kind of
because it goes with
water, you know?
along with technology. Because once AI reaches a certain level, I think it's gonna. But that's my assumption. It's gonna improve technology so much, and we're just working on the like theoretical part with the AI. That's gonna help us so much with technology. At one point, it's just gonna go up. Because if you reach to a certain point that they can do the calculations for us, and they can do the things that are really really hard for us to, you know, with pen and paper and do the whole equation itself. It's gonna take us 1,000 years, 10,000 years to do it.
Yes.
They're gonna do it in a second. It's more easy for us to create like technology that we want to achieve. Like
then the limitation for us will be our planet, and the next step will be
You want to
30
go-
years.
You want to go-
that's I think
You
in
want to go
30
on Mars too, yeah?
No,
wanna go
no.
Mars.
I mean, if you are limited by a small space like our planet, like Earth, if you cannot,
Well,
if you will use all your resources from this planet, then you need to move,
I would say that,
on or to die.
I would
you
say
know?
that Earth is everything you want, but not small place. I mean, I don't buy this theory of not having enough space. I don't really.
See,
buy
that's
it.
interesting. That's what I wanted to
Yeah,
know.
you
Like,
have
somebody has
two different opinions.
I like it. I like
Well,
it. That's the point
when
of
you
the
shrunk
podcast.
together, I don't know how many people we have in London, like
So-
5 million
so-
people.
So.
You start to shrunk all those people together, cramp them, and then if you go Nordway, you will see that there's so much empty space, we are not doing anything
I acknowledge that
in there.
because those are part of the
Empty.
are unlivable or habitable because we haven't actually gone there and made much investment in doing it. So my question would be, do you reckon we should invest more in discovering Earth rather than going in space?
No, we should invest more in.
So, for example, let's make like a realistic expectation, right? You have this budget. You have $10 trillion.
We are limited by the budget as well.
Yes,
it's
indeed.
very important to say that.
Yes, indeed.
So
You have $10 trillion. Where are you gonna spend it? On space?
definitely on art,
On Earth.
because thinking logically, being limited by the budget, it makes sense to want to preserve and to make by the way of the Earth, because Earth is self-sustaining. You see, is a cycle, is never ending. Earth was here before us,
you could
is now
say-
and will be after us.
You could say that universe is a circle, it's a cycle also.
Let's not talk about universe. This is very expansive. It's hard to even think about it. But Earth itself.
Okay, so for example,
why we need Mars? We are not capable of preserving this place.
When we started this topic, it was about AI.
Yes.
AI will not have enough space on Earth to develop.
Yeah, but
like you've said, AI can do things in seconds, and we need thousands of years to do something. And the AI will discover the entire Earth in 1 year, maybe less than that.
Well, no, it doesn't work like that. But the problem with that is that its physical part is the only useful thing of an AI, from what I understand, or concept of machine learning, is to give it like a equation.
The brain, no?
Equation itself.
How?
A long equation, and the math for that is going to be really easy to do, because whenever they have that equation, as a person, you have to go through certain steps which are really, really long, and you cannot reach that answer.
And when you'll have the
how would you put? It's like it's not a theoretical concept to put the Earth as an equation.
Yeah, but when we'll have the
answer
to your question.
Much.
No, but when you will have your answer to that question, what you will do next? You'll put another question and another one.
Yes, indeed.
And this is the.
But that you have to have like give me that bullet point stuff. That's.
But
a compiler does to the processor. It just tells them basic stuff. Do X, add X, add.
Yeah,
I find it slightly funny because we think about so much ahead when we are struggling with such
I
simple
wanted to
things.
touch on him because he's more interesting. He's more interesting.
We talk about what we're gonna do next. Oh, the Earth might not be enough for us, but still we're struggling. We're struggling massively nowadays with simple things.
10 trillion. Where is it going on Earth? What?
10 million.
Not 10 trillion for 30 years. Where would you spend to search?
The budget.
You haven't touched the bottom of the ocean, and you talk about this, and we are on 2023. Come on, God.
So you want to explore the depths of
have you ever been to the center of the world, to the core of the Earth?
So you want to invest it in drilling.
You barely touch the moon physically.
You
barely touch the moon physically, and you want to go to Mars, which is way out of our
Yeah, but if you don't,
inner circle.
I agree with Dragos in this topic, because it's better to have a long goal. It's like
think big, yeah.
Yes, indeed, you have to think big about it.
Yeah.
Because if you think small, like you can say that we didn't reach the moon, right? Hopefully, it's not like conspiracy.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I'll be back.
But if you need to have a big goal, whenever you don't have the technology behind it,
let's remember that we just find out that we have something smaller than what was the smallest particle that we knew about until recently.
Atom.
Yeah, and I think we
and that was the string theory, which
go lower, smaller than that.
Not the smallest.
The Planck. The smallest is the Planck.
There are some strings pieces.
It's like
I think they managed to even to sort of theoretically or microscopically.
The telephone is dead.
Well,
no more
I think we should end up here, isn't it, in the air?
Yes, I think it's gonna end up here.
Well, if it's dead, it's dead.
Thank you for
our professional camera.
Listening. This is the
our
first.
Professional camera.
Let's
let's make a statement. Let's leave everything in there, all the subjects, and stop here with this podcast.
It's gonna be a nice.
Mr. Dragos, please rejoin the.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. This is Radu.
I'm Adi, but you can't see me, so I can be anyone now.
I'm Dragos. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to our podcast today. Hopefully you're gonna subscribe and reach that follow button.
And see you next time, or hear you next time.